welcome back everybody. More Journey through Radiant Citadel. Last week we couldn't, my batteries messed out, so we skipped this one. For now, we find ourselves having travelled deep into the Rattle, a dangerous territory where some farmers are forced to grow their crops because the fertile land of the ribbon is growing less and less, kind of as the area. They're not really sure why, but there's just less and less available space as it kind of reverts back to getting swallowed by the biomes on either side. And you are looking for a lady's daughter, and you've come to this farm looking for one called Kiana. You found a bunch of houses with X's marking the front doors, and eventually one without. Now you're exploring that. You have heard a bit of sound coming from inside, but you haven't explored any of the rooms. So we come back once again to find you guys inside the passageway that runs through the house. Now your two companions that were with you, Lady Dre and Tungsten Ward, there was a tremor earlier and the cart fell into it, so they are with the horses kind of getting the cart out of the ditch and have fallen a step behind. So you're going ahead for now, and yeah, this is pretty much where we pick up. Let's see, get some slightly more tense music going, and yeah, I don't believe you guys have looked in any of the rooms yet.
No, we haven't. We literally just came in.
Yeah.
I hung from the ceiling, said it was safe. Everyone came in. So
And as for rooms, is it easy enough to make out? I'll just put a little blip in front of each door.
the one there.
Yeah.
See that one? Zoom in.
Is it visible? Okay, cool. So one there's one there. There's also one by... Oops, one by Daggett. I was trying to move him out the way there. Let me change that. And two down the hall, one on either side of Bricktop.
And last session we determined that the sound was coming from this side
The
of
north.
the.
Correct.
Yeah.
The house
So
for the most part is quiet now, though.
yeah. So
Well,
do we
hanging from the
just
ceiling, I'm gonna poke a door open.
Okay. And I mean, it's not locked, and the just like slides open to reveal inside what looks to be a kitchen area. But the biggest thing that catches your eye is the four people standing still in the center of the room. They are transfixed with each other, kind of two people standing facing the other two. You can see their eyes are crimson, remaining unblinking, unmoving. Each one does seem to have either a knife or a farming implement in their hands.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna let people know. I've got people.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't reacted to you opening the door. They're remaining in the exact same position, staring at each other.
With Dejic's backup, I would go through.
do they
Right.
seem like in any form of haze or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, you could say that. They're definitely not. They're not reacting to the sounds of opening the door, or looking over in your guys' direction or anything like that.
Do we want to try a more slightly diplomatic way, or because I don't think they're fully there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think we've seen that whenever they're in this kind of state that they don't really react to diplomacy very much.
Yeah.
And sorry, I forget. Um, did we last time? Did we manage to like snap them out of it, or
No.
was that
just-
not possible? Yeah. Okay.
We had to restrain them.
Correct.
Yeah.
It seemed like some kind of enchantment, or it didn't seem like a disease. I think is what the only thing you found out.
Yeah. Okay. This.
Hugrush will open the door that is to the northeast of him.
So yeah, it's also in a similar fashion not locked, and it does open up onto what was once probably some kind of dining room. And it's mostly as a long plain table, a wooden sideboard. You do see several chairs lying shattered on the floor. The debris here is streaked with crimson stains.
I think Ogrish has a good idea. Maybe we should check all the doors to begin with, just to make certain that this one room that has the 4 people in it is the only room with people there.
Mm.
Yeah,
While
you
he's in
certainly
there,
can do.
while he's in there, he'll take a quick investigation.
Okay, nice. Let's see here. 16. As you are looking around, let's see here. You move over this. I mean, most of the things are thrown around, and like the place is being completely ransacked. But there is one kind of side table as well that looks like it has a couple of drawers in it. And as you move over, you do see. It looks like around the area there's several floorboards that have been pushed up from below, as if something has kind of erupted from the earth. As you look to the and as you look to the side, underneath the table where you're investigating, you see 6 of these severed hands clinging to the underside of the table.
Ripped up. What do you make of this? Bruce points out where the floorboards have been disturbed.
Bob will step into the room and look.
And as you do, you can see that 2 of the hands detach themselves from the table and launch at Agrusha's face. That's going to be a 14 and a natural 20 to hit you.
Armor class 18, the 20 hits.
Yeah, one of them you kind of bat to the side, and the other one manages to kind of grab at your throat, starting to pull in to try and crush the windpipe. It is going to be doing, that is a super high roll. This is the maximum damage they possibly ever could do. A full 8 bludgeoning to you.
Oh.
And the other 4 drop from the table as well. And there's 6 of these creatures that are kind of scurrying around. You're welcome to react with an attack roll or anything like that, or if there's some other way you'd like to deal with these creatures.
I think Agrush is going to try and stomp them. So maybe just, what would that be, D20 with the strength bonus?
We can say it can be a reflavored use of your weapon, so you could pretty much use your weapon
sure.
for this.
We'll do it that way.
It burst out.
Take that.
Yeah, go and roll some damage here. You throw the one off, stomping down, and just splats. They're not very resilient creatures. And any reaction from you, Bricktop, for these creatures are going to launch in your direction as well as you step into the room.
Yeah, he's gonna see what's going on, and he'll launch for one and swing his longsword.
Go for it. Just want to see if yeah, looks like the party will make it into the room.
Nope.
So
Where I
unfortunately,
see?
you can see it does, like, it pushes with its thumb and launches a bit into the air and dodges over the attack and still keeps crawling towards you.
Oh. Okay. Hey guys, we got some hands in here.
Okay. Makari, looks like you first to react here.
Bricktop will kind of, well, yes, he'll just step to the side out of
Sure.
the doorway.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask Diggit if he can help me, and hand him the end of a rope, and I'm gonna basically say that we'll run in there together, and if I run one way and he runs the other, we could probably tie all four of these up before they know we're here.
Yeah, sure. Or you might be better asking Kitara because she's lighter on her feet. She can get to the back of the room
Sure.
faster. Because I won't
He
get there.
turns to Katari and says the same thing.
Just so you're aware, these farmers haven't moved even after the sound of the commotion started.
Yeah, that's why I want to bind them all up with one motion, rather than trying to bind one, waking them up, fighting the other three. Katara.
Can you hear us, Katara? Are you with us?
Oh?
Maybe you stepped away for a sec. Can't hear you if you're talking, Bill. Alright, well, we'll assume for now that he is alright with a team attack. I don't think it's too much to ask. Those hands don't look too difficult to deal with, to be honest. So you want to run in there with the help of your partner, and you're going to circle around, and you just want to pull these guys into a tight knot, effectively.
Yeah. So I'm handing Katara one end of a rope. I'm then going to use my movement to go attack of opportunity if they're going to take one.
Nope, none come.
Okay, so I've got one end of the rope, and I'm going to run it around this side, and I'm going to tell Katara to run it around this side, so that basically we can gather these four together.
Okay, and she does so on the end of her turn as well. Take both of your actions. It's, as soon as you're going after each other, it's not a big deal anyway. And as you kind of pull and tighten, you see these four farmers jerk and get shoved into each other. And as soon as that happens, you see movement. Arms begin to lash out and swing as they definitely seem to respond to getting physically moved. We're going to be adding them to the initiative board. But they are at least around the chest with a couple of strands of, couple of turns of rope. If Katara's got any other bonus action they'd like to do or anything like that. Any bonus from you as well while you're doing this, Makari?
Yes, I think we are going to. Actually, no, I'm not gonna. I was gonna channel some divinity. I'm not gonna do.
Fair
I
enough.
think we're good.
Okay, so it looks like 5 of these creatures are still alive. 2 are going to launch at a Groosh, the other 3 at Bricktop, as we have a whole bunch of claw attacks going on here, so we'll say 2 at a Groosh first. And then, oh wait, let's do this silly whispering. 2 at a Groosh and then 2 at Bricktop, 3 at Bricktop. Oh, that was such a nice roll as well. Okay, 20 to hit. A Groosh as another one seems to land, this time for 2 slashing as it gets you along the ankle. And it looks like Ricktop AC 15. You're going to have 2 hits against you for a total of 6 slashing. As you guys are surrounded by these claws. You've had your turn this round as the farmers are now reacting. Let's see here. Oh wait, but if that means this one's already attacked a Groosh, so a Groosh that actually that last one didn't hit you. I apologize. So you guys have kind of acted in this first round already. These guys are now arms start flailing. Not very coherent, not immediately with a thought of mind to kind of reach for the rope first thing, but they do have sharp weapons in their hands and they're going to slash out. 2 in your direction, well, 2 in either of your guys' direction. See here, if they would probably be grappled at this point. I don't think they'd be restrained so much. Or maybe they could be restrained if their arms are down at their sides. You try to pin them together, which I think was the plan.
Yeah, if their arms were at their sides, they would be tied to their sides. If they were having their arms raised, then we would have gone for midsection.
So they're trying to stab at you just using the kind of forearm length. It's going to be with disadvantage as it is difficult, but they are beginning to writhe. So 2 against Makari, and this is also being whispered, of course. 2 against Makari, and then 2 against our other friend, Katara. Hey, another nat 20, look at that. But it's disadvantage, so it's only a 16, which will not do it. As the 2 kind of get close, but you manage to jump out of the way, avoiding most of the damage. You see Katara on the other side doing a similar feat. As we come around finally to you, Daggett, what you're doing.
Okay. Gonna go to here. And where is it? Turn whip.
Okay, let's have it. 4 damage, rips one of them in half, kind of just scattering the bits around the room.
And
Bonus?
no, I just take a step back.
Alright, so back around to Makari, the strange zombie farmers, what you doing?
So, because of where I am, there's no point in me lancing, because it'll be at disadvantage. Because I always get disadvantage at 5 feet, no matter what. So we are probably... I'm gonna try pull the rope. I'm gonna try pull them all towards me to alleviate any attacks on our monk. If that's possible.
You could make an athletics check, I would say. You are trying to pull 4 flailing figures, and you are a goblin. So, yeah, it's a bit tough. They are heavier than you thought, and with the writhing, you just unfortunately cannot manage it. You see that they don't seem coordinated. They're still just kind of trying to get at whatever creature is first, in very kind of like zombie-like fashion. It would probably be quite easy to disarm them as well.
Okay. We'll probably take maybe an attack opportunity, because we're gonna do this and move. But technically, I would want to move down this way because I want to encircle. So that's
Sure.
definite attack of opportunity, I think.
Yeah, that's
That
gonna be
that
2.
puts the rope all the way around me,
Nice.
which I then begin to tie on the other end, basically making like a lasso or a slip knot or a noose, depending on how you want to
Sure.
describe it. But I've mostly put myself in this position to get ready for interceptor, and that is my turn.
Okay. Katara, you back with us?
Yes.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
So I hope you don't mind, I took a bit of license and you just aided Makari. You guys encircled these 4 farmers with a rope. and try to just kind of restrain them. As soon as it was pulled tight, they started to flail and react, and they are kind of brandishing their weapons in a very haphazard fashion.
Okay. Did I hear you say that we could try and disarm them?
Yeah, you definitely can. I mean, they don't look like they're martially trained or anything like that. They're just kind of swinging on instinct.
Okay, well, I would take my quarterstaff and try and use that to strike them where, you know, the hand that they're holding their
Yeah,
weapons on.
yeah, sure. We'll have a slightly higher AC, but you can go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Okay.
I think you will have advantage because they are restrained, so don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oof, ouch. Yeah, you hear probably maybe definitely broke a finger or two, but one of the scimitars just clangs to the ground. The figure doesn't make any immediate action to pick it up or even to acknowledge the pain. They just kind of start reaching out and swiping with their hands, and I will put a little mark on it to show it's been disarmed.
Okay, and then I would, I guess, try again with an unarmed strike
Sure.
to as a bonus action. See if I could.
Yeah, that'll do the trick. I imagine, are you targeting someone else to try and disarm another, or are you trying to knock this one unconscious?
To disarm the next one on the bottom row.
Okay, you can succeed in that endeavor. As you smack what looks to be kind of just a bloody rake, the head of it out of her hands.
Okay, and that would be the end of my turn.
Okay, so as we come around again, these creatures now attempt to slash. The one that's been up against Ogrush is going to attempt once more to clamp down, crawl up to the neck, try and get some flesh, and I think it will reach with a 19. It's going to be 3 further bludgeoning. As the others against Bricktop are going to get one more slice before he's able to react. And that is both misses. He is able to step to the side this time. And that brings us around to your turn, Bricktop. Okay. Desperately trying to slice out of these creatures. It's awkward in the close quarters, and them being such small targets, unable to strike a mark, unfortunately. See here. Let me know if there's anything else you're going to be doing, as the farmers in the other room are going to be reacting. Seeing as you're not in melee reach, the two at the back are just trying to reach you, and they can't. They don't seem to have the foresight to remove the bonds. So these two are going to just kind of make melee attacks against you guys. Both of which are going to go wide. As Ogrush, we go to you. You can hear the farmers kind of crying out in anger. It's mostly not really coherent words, just bestial grunts and cries. You can hear the kind of primal frustration and not being able to kind of reach their prey. But in the other room, Ogrush.
Bricktop, get a hold of yourself. Mock them. Does the 16 hit?
That'll do it, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and you pierce one to the ground. The fingers kind of flex out before it falls loose.
I think that Ogrush is gonna take his bonus action and do a second wind.
Nice.
An extra
Brooktop's gonna
Alright,
use
then.
his reaction. They are the ones with the hold on me.
Well, that'll bring us down to
Well,
Deggett. Oh, yes.
Do something.
Okay, is up there. Go for the next one.
Nice. And another one gets... Oh, sorry, wrong button. Another one definitely does get caught in that as it's kind of reaching out for Bricktop's face, just lacerated, thrown into the air. So only one of these remains. As that brings us back around. Are you ending your turn there? Are you moving?
Yeah, I just move a little bit and that's it.
Okay, back to our paladin. Are you with us? I can't hear you, Makari. Are you muted?
I am muted, yes, because I have decided to put myself on mute so I don't backseat DM absolutely everything on instinct, because it's annoying. For the party. I'm sure it is, because I've caught myself doing it a couple of times, so I've just been muting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 10 feet attack this guy here, flat of the lance, so non-lethal.
Alright,
See if we can knock him out.
that'll hit.
Yeah, let's just knock him out.
Okay. Got 9 health total.
Be smoten!
That'll do it. Alright, and with that, he kind of drops and the weight sags, pulls against the others, kind of throwing them off balance. Yeah, anything else for your turn? You're kind of holding them all there.
Gonna... Lay on hands is bonus, right? That's an action. Okay, yeah. No mind, yeah, that's it.
Alright, Katara, only one more armed assailant.
She will kind of use her acrobatics to move around to get to the last one,
Sure.
and will take her quarterstaff and actually hit them with non-lethal damage.
So, 24 will hit for 10 bludgeoning. Yeah, the person just goes to sleep.
Okay,
Stop struggling.
and then for the other two, she'll do an unarmed strike with one of them to try and get them unconscious as well. And that
Not so good this
will
time.
probably win.
Yeah. Yo. Did you do some medical course that allows you to know how to knock people out without giving them permanent brain damage? That's actually quite a skill, I would think. I'm joking, of course, but like, just like go to sleep, like smash them in the head. Is that a thing in real life?
You know what? It probably is. You can knock someone out with minimal damage. It all depends on how you talk the jaw.
I guess being a monk would probably be the closest you'd get to knowing the body's pressure points and stuff.
Yeah, like it's definitely possible. Like you can knock someone out with force without doing permanent damage. You just don't hit them in the temple. As I said, you just got to bounce their brain enough that it turns off.
I guess the thing that throws me is you're still using your weapons, but you would probably... I mean, yeah. Anyway, that's a side tangent.
That's
Katara,
why I stay flat of my lance,
Yeah,
because
of
you
course.
can't non-lethal with a point.
So fortunately the second one goes wide, and these crawling claws get this last one, gets another round. It's probably the longest I've seen them last, but to no avail as we go to Bricktop.
Alright. What's their AC?
So that will just hit.
Haha!
And they only have 2 health each, so I'm assuming, yeah, you secure
Well,
it.
which is why I was hesitant to do the vicious mockery, because it's been a 1 almost every time.
Fair enough.
Bricktop is going to mutilate that hand, look to Agrush, and give the middle finger.
Oh, use the finger of the hand next time.
But I think for now, with these figures very uncoordinated, zombie-like, and having been disarmed, it's fairly easy enough for you guys to pin them down, tie them up completely, or kind of knock them into unconsciousness, or whatever you feel is appropriate at this point.
Bricktop is going to first take a sip of his wine, and then he's going to touch himself somewhere and give himself a cure wounds.
Okay. Yeah, the claw marks recede. Other than that, yeah, the house falls quiet again.
Katara will move down to where this other door is in this room and open that.
Sure. Let's get some doors open here. So this one, as Daggett kind of stands on the precipice as well, looking inside, you see a living room of some kind as well. The furniture haphazardly arranged and looks close to falling apart. The floor and all of over everything effectively is covered in hundreds of handprints painted using this crimson substance. I mean, it doesn't look the right color for blood exactly.
Does it look similar to the red clay outside?
That's yeah, it would probably be around the same shade. And let's see, passive perception here. Katara, as you look in through the door into the room, you do notice, or anyone with passive perception 14 or higher, that there is a slight pattern to the hands, and there is a noticeable break around one of the chairs. You can see, as you kind of, if you move closer to that, there looks to be some kind of muddy imagery drawn onto the ground underneath it. You drag it to the side. I imagine you are taking a look. Are you doing anything before then?
No, I would
Okay.
come inside and see what I, if I can discern what it is.
Moving the chair, picking it up, putting it to the side, there is a muddy depiction of two children in the same kind of red mud here, and one is reaching for the other, who is being dragged into what looks to be water by large hands. You can see that scrapes in the muddy image form the name Kali.
Oh dear, it seems like we have some children that are affected by this as well.
Isn't that the name of the niece of our contact?
Kali was the name of the childhood friend that she lost at Cradle Lace
Right.
Lake. That was, according to the farmer you met, Kiana, the daughter that you are actually looking for, went there recently and said that they were meeting with Kali as if it was a live person, which kind of contradicts the information you've heard. The room on the other side of the hall, just for completion's sake, as you guys kind of peek into that area, it looks to be a bedroom. It holds a bed, a writing desk for a single occupant. Most of this room is still pretty neat and orderly. The desk, however, is strewn with art supplies and scraps of paper bearing fragmented images.
I'm an artist, right? I want to lean on this a little bit here. So we know that the person we're looking for is also someone who likes to draw a lot, and we have been shown articles of her work, correct? So if I go in this little room here, where this marking is, can I discern whether the art style is the same?
Let's see here. So you've moved. You want to be in this room down here. Yeah, you definitely can. It's pretty macabre. It seems quite dark. Someone painting definitely from a place of pain or fear or some definitely intense emotions. It looks like some of the stuff you were shown back in Promise, the town you visited.
But are the brush strokes the same? The general how things are depicted the same, if that makes sense. Like, because each individual person has an individual art style, even if they're learning the same art style.
Sure. Do you have painter's tools? Could you make a tool proficiency check for me?
Yeah, yes. On what stat?
Let's see here. Recognition. I would probably be one of the intellectual stats.
Wisdom?
Wisdom would be appropriate. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you definitely can kind of see this erratic style. There's this person isn't necessarily painting for pleasure, but more to overcome something in their life, like work through trauma or get something out of their head, and that definitely comes across in the drawings.
I can discern these. Is I will tell the party that due to the brush strokes and the colors that are used and the general way things are formed, this is definitely art from the person we're looking for.
Quick question: is this another door up here?
Yes, it is. It is. I'll open that up for you as well.
It looks like a storeroom from what I can tell.
Yeah, it is a pantry of some kind, and there is a door that is half covered on the floor, kind of leading down into presumably a cellar of some sort. So there is a chest in the bedroom with you guys as well. I saw someone rolled an investigation. Agrush, are you kind of going through things?
Yes, he was just kind of taking a general look at everything.
Okay. So this room does seem not to be ransacked as the rest of the house has been, and as you go through the chest and its contents, you do find a pair of overalls with a pocket that contains an assembly of rings. Look to be plain rings, as if they're kind of wedding bands or something. There are 5 of them, but they rest together with a single coin that you kind of pick up with interest, as it's not a simple gold, silver, copper mark. It bears imagery on it of one side this kind of strange palms holding up a kind of angelic symbolism, and on the other side kind of a skeletal angel with very demonic or devilish symbolism.
So it's a coin, and then it has a symbol like kind of an angelic symbol on one side and a demonic symbol on the other.
And as you hold it up, something inside of you kind of clicks. You feel as if you've seen this object before. Maybe not in this lifetime, but something that has kind of a familiar feeling, a feeling of comfort, as you have found another all or nothing coin.
Oh, one of my favorites. I have a feeling about this coin, Bricktop. This is going to be a lot of fun. Does it require attunement?
I don't
You're
believe it
holding
does.
the coin. I would hope you'd feel it.
All right. Let me make note of that.
So I'll give this one out to you just because he's had this in like 3 campaigns now, so he'll be able to tell you what it does.
I remember Fink had a couple, I think.
Yeah, these are really interesting and fun magical items. They require a certain degree of fortitude to use, but
That's cool.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
cool, right? That's cool. I like items with very high risk, high reward kind of like things. You know, instead of just having an item that's super OP, you're like, it can be super OP, or it can fuck me.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good balance, literally. 50-50 chance.
So Agrush will take the coin, but then we'll kind of ask Bricktop or any other magic user, what do you make of these rings?
So, let's see here. If anyone wants to give me an intelligence check or insight, would be appropriate, I think. Ooh. Well, they don't seem very fancy. They seem plain. You wouldn't peg them. You'd probably be able to sell them for a fair few gold pieces each. But besides that, nothing really stands out to you.
They mostly seem to have sentimental value and monetary value. Don't think
Yeah.
they can do anything else. Yeah.
We check the cellar.
Maybe someone is hiding there.
Katari, you
Something.
are closest to the cellar, so as you kind of lean down to get closer to take a look at the trapdoor, you do hear the slightest muffled tune coming through, as if someone's humming a fairy tale. I mean, like a children's rhyming song or something like that.
Seems like there's something down in this cellar making music.
You open the door.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Just get your tokens all lined up. Don't move. I'm going to drag you across. Okay. So, as you move down into the cellar here, where are we? You see shelves bearing root vegetables and other foodstuff lining the walls of a mostly unfinished cellar. The south wall seems to have partially collapsed, revealing a dark, narrow tunnel. The smell is pretty bad. You can smell rot coming from the tunnel up ahead. And you now kind of hear this voice echoing down from somewhere further up. And as you kind of stand there, you hear it seems to be quite a simple little children's tune or something like that. It goes, cross patch, lift the latch, sit by the fire and spin. Take a cup, drink it up, and call your neighbors in. And then it just kind of repeats.
Does anyone recognize this song?
Ari says he didn't graduate in creepy.
I mean, one or two of you might have heard it as a kid. That doesn't hold any specific significance that you would be able to think of in the moment.
All right. Shall we press on and see what's in this tunnel?
Yes.
How high is the tunnel?
It is not very high. It looks to have been dug by like a human or something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go on the ceiling anyway because spiders and ceilings. Makari will offer to take the lead.
Okay. So, yeah, a bit uncomfortable for your spider, but it does open out somewhat as you move into the tunnel. Yeah, you can go ahead and move your token forward. There does seem to be light coming from around the corner. As the sound grows louder, you do see, as you round the bend there is an opening, a large cavern that seems to lie up ahead. Okay, hear the song once again coming just over and over. There's a bit of a pause and like an inhalation of breath. The song hasn't been the same every time, so it's not like someone sitting in a zombified trance. There has kind of been different inflections. So it sounds like someone seems to be kind of conscious up ahead, at least somewhat. And as you kind of get to the last bend before it opens up, it opens into a lantern-lit, packed dirt chamber, where the cause of the stench becomes apparent. There's about a dozen bodies that lie strewn across the floor here, all wearing the clothes of a farmer. Many of their limbs have been cleanly removed and set into a sizable pile on the far side of the cavern over here. In the center of the room, you see a young woman in a similar farmer garb, and she's the one that is singing. She kind of is sitting down with her legs folded in front of her, rocking a little bit.
Does the ceiling get higher at this point, or is it just more wide?
No, it continues on. This person is, I mean, you are stealthing.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The ceiling of the opening, because it's a larger space, is it like
It's max
is it
10,
a lot higher?
max 10 feet up. This isn't a properly dug tunnel by any means.
Okay. Can't sneak up on her.
And she
From
kind
above.
of gives coughs into her hands a little bit. You see the arm come up. She looks back over. Well, I mean, she's faced away from you, facing towards the kind of pile of dismembered body parts that lies over here. I'll just put a little circle there. And she goes back to singing once more.
Let's see. Stealth of spider. 18.
Okay. I mean, what's the plan here?
Just getting out of the way so people can get through the opening mostly.
Bruce is going to walk in, and then he's going to call to the young woman, Kiani. Are you Kiani?
There's a jump
What is her?
from the female figure. She kind of looks around. You see a kind of confusion on her face, but there's no red eyes on this one. You can see that she is somewhat in control of herself as she looks up. Kiani, that is me, but you please go. You shouldn't be here.
Why?
She kind of looks around at the bodies. Something happened to the farmers when they entered the caverns. They did whatever Cully said. You must... He's sleeping now, after having eaten. I think my song helps keep him quiet. But I'm tired. I don't know how much longer I can keep singing. And she does like have bags under her eyes. Looks like she's close to passing out.
Where does he come from when he appears?
She looks confused and starts speaking again, kind of with a different timbre in her voice. He came back after I lost him in the lake. It was so good to hear his voice again. It came from the cellar, and I eventually found this place down here, and he was digging his way to me. Isn't that wonderful? He's gonna come live with us.
Hmm.
Where is Cully at now?
She points to the pile of dismembered appendages on the other side of the room.
Nosebleed?
Strong undead sense.
Yeah. Like, seriously strong, I would assume. The rest of the party might notice if they do see Makari and his stealthiness. He's looking very uncomfortable. The urge to purge is very much a big thing right now.
So sad.
In fact, he's
Yeah.
already going to be skittering across the ceiling up here. Do another stealth check because it's quite close.
So for another stealth check for you and your spider, please, as she kind of turns back to look at the sleeping Cully. As far as she said, I think with the 10, the spider does kind of dislodge a bit of rocks that crumbles to the ground. She, at the very least, looks to the side, gasping at the sight of such a large beast. And as she does, you kind of feel the tension snap, and one of the fingers kind of twitch in the pile. His arms begin to pull this creature up. Let's see here. See if I got a nice handout for you. It seems to simply be a mass of arms that begins to rise, pushing itself up. You hear in your mind, Makari, this voice whispering, "Come play with us. Aren't you lonely too?" As it begins to drag itself, lifting up onto two hands, moving like some kind of strange handstanding person. It is...
Wait, I have this. I have this. Where is it?
We're going to go straight into initiative here, I think.
Wait, do I not have dice? I thought I had a set of dice. I was going to take out a set of dice, but okay, what do you want to play? I don't know. Never mind. I don't have dice. I cannot name this thing.
Unfortunate. As Cully seems to lift up from the ground there, that's going to bring us straight into this fight. You see that Kiana cries out in distress, fear. She runs to the side, pushing herself against the wall, screaming for you guys not to hurt him. But obviously this is definitely an undead Bricktop. As combat starts, what you doing?
I don't think it rolled me, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'll add you now.
Bricktop. What is? Bricktop is just going to, from where he's at, viciously mock the conglomerate of limbs.
Sure. So, wisdom save. Let me turn off its rolling. That's going to be a fail, though. It is a 9.
So 4 damage. There is a lot of red clay under those fingernails. That's disgusting. And then he's going to move down here.
Very well. So, Ogrish, I mean, you Bricktop are tied, so what you doing, Ogrish?
He will move and attack. 14.
So you're just charging right at this thing?
Yes.
Okay. 14 will hit.
Take that, foul entity.
the hand start to reach up at you. You kind of slam it into one of the elbow joints of one of the creatures, almost severing one of the arms that kind of hangs limply, but there's many more. Is that your turn?
That'll end Ogrush's turn.
Okay. So that brings us down to this creature, known as the Soul Shaker. It is going to reach out at you with many hands and attempt its crushing grasp attack. Let's just go and roll for that. So that's going to be a miss with a 9, and then it's got 2 attacks. So the second one will not be with disadvantage, but a 12 I don't think is going to do it either. As it kind of surges up against you, arms flowing over you, kind of unable to really, unfortunately, land an attack on you this time. It will pull to the side, kind of moving around you into the corner here. That'll bring us to Daggett. Wait. This guy does have a bonus action. Sorry. Double check here. Okay, no. What you doing, Daggett? I can't hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot I was muted. He brings up his shield, and a light greenish glow comes from it, and gonna cast Bless at 2nd level on everybody except himself, essentially.
Okay.
That's gonna be it.
Okay. That'll bring us down to Katara.
Okay. Katara will take out her short bow and give a shot at the angle of arms.
All right. Oof, not going to do it. Just
Nope.
skims a Groosh for slamming into the wall there.
And she is actually going to move up here to be able to kind of watch the girl at the same time. And that'll be her turn.
Sure. That'll bring us round to Makari.
Okay, right. So Makari he's gonna hunker low. His lance is gonna glow golden. He's gonna take a 5-foot step. He is going to attack with lance.
Okay, that'll do it.
He is going to divine smite, and then he's gonna shout at Ogrish, "Let me give you a hand."
Distribute temporary hit points. Very nice. I think you should get another D8 on that because it is a fiend or undead, right?
Another D8 damage.
What's that?
I'm not sure.
So I think
I don't
2d8
take
is
over.
the base damage you always deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll throw in another d8 onto that.
Okay. There's the other D8 damage, which is only a 2. And then I roll 2d8 plus 3, because I'm a level 3 paladin. Okay, so Ogrish gets 11 temporary hit points.
Very nice. Okay. So is that your turn done?
Yes.
So at the top of the round, before you can go Agrush, at the top of the round, this creature, I mean, it was going to target Agrush with this, but you've just inflicted quite a serious wound on to it, so it's going to turn towards you, and you feel this kind of pull on your mind as this creature reaches out to try and enthrall you. I need actually, what do I need? Does it tell me wisdom save. A wisdom saving throw, please. As this figure entreats you to try and not hinder it in any way. You feel the bindings of a Gaia spell being cast on you, but you manage to just save with that roll. So the enthralled lure does fail. That'll bring us to Agrush.
Agrush senses that there's a certain urgency here, and so he's going to call on the power of the all or nothing coin to make his attack roll. Do you want me to do like a /R 2, or do you want me to just roll war pick, and if it's above 10, call it a 20, and if it's below, call it a 1?
Are you using your all or nothing? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Here we go. Yes.
Hey, natural 20. Okay. Flicking the
So
coin.
natural.
Yes?
Go ahead. No.
Oh yeah, sure. Flicking the coin, as it like, spins through the air, you just begin to swing, kind of hoping the enchantment from it is not going to be on the negative side of things. And as you kind of feel the stars line up, you manage to catch like 4 of the arms as they all reach out to you on the war pick, just piercing through each of the 4 arms, and then into the walls. You kind of pin them all there. Yeah, you took a lot of damage.
Oh, outstanding. And so, so there's 1 extra D8 for the critical, and then because he's an orc, or a half orc, there's the other D8.
Very nice.
So I think that's an additional 6.
Bricktop.
Bricktop is going to well, can Bricktop squeeze in here between Makari and Agrush?
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna squeeze into there, and he's going to swing his long sword at the hands. Oh my gosh.
You're blessed.
You're blessed to get a D4.
Oh, forgot that. I don't have the modifier on this one. Need to go turn that on. Alright. Well,
Oof. That will just miss, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
These rolls.
alright.
Dude, you
I
should.
know, right?
In my other game, one of my players made his the formula wrong. Instead of rolling a D4 or whatever, it just rolled a 4, and he was driven to insanity. Eventually, quit the campaign because he was rolling so shit. None of us noticed.
Damn.
I remember that.
Yeah, so yeah, you were there, Usanasuke.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It was always a 1. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was the
So
Avernus
funny.
campaign with you guys. Never mind. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the one. Okay, so is that your turn, Bricktop?
Yeah, that's gonna be it.
Okay, so that brings us back to this creature, who is pretty incensed that none of its things have worked out for it. Really, it's going to reach out one more time. It's going to try a crushing grasp here, and it sees an easier target in Bricktop, I think, and its hunger for life is burning. And with the claw attack, it is going to be a 10. It still just cannot do it. The second one will go out to. It cannot attack the same one twice. It'll go out to Ogrush. Oh wait, that's the wrong creature. It's a crawling claw. Here we go. Ogrush. Probably the crawling claw. Yeah, the fucking crawling claw rolls better with the +3. So it's bloody. Never mind. Okay. Welcome to your big bad, everyone. Take it what you're doing. Oh, sad noises.
Okay. Yeah, they're just it's gonna try to toll the dead.
Yep. Wisdom save from the Soul Shaker, which it fails. Okay, it's 8 necrotic, which it is resistant to.
Okay.
Anything else? You repositioning bonus?
Just gonna move to there.
Perfect. Over to you, Monk.
Okay, Char will use her short bow again. Damn. Not rolling it today.
Okay. Unfortunately not. Yeah. And as this creature is lashing out, trying to reach and grasp and to crush you all. You do feel these kind of flashes of telepathic communication as it reaches out to you, not necessarily on purpose. It seems to almost be like the creature is almost shouting in rage, but you do kind of see flashes of rippling water, darkened and marshy, of slipping below, of the surface tension kind of becoming too hard to push up against, trying to reach up towards the sky and not being able to break out of the water once more. A kind of terrifying imagery. Most likely the event where Kiana and Kali went to Cradle Lace Lake. This seems to be some kind of fragmented conglomeration of at least part of Kali's memories. Is that your turn, Katara?
Yes.
Makari, over to you.
Right. So, Makari's going to stab his lance into the ground and lift a now empty hand, which is going to glow golden, and he's going to unleash some of his holy magic at and do really badly.
So unfortunately, at the last moment, the fight between Ogrush and the creature causes him to kind of move in the way of your spell, and you have to swing your arm up to the side, and he's going to slam it into the wall and blows out a chunk of the rock there.
My last spell slot. I move... No, it's good. Right, that's it.
Okay. Ability once a day, cannot activate this time. Just goes right back to your turn, Ogrush. What you doing?
Does 9 hit?
You got a blessing, so roll a d4. You would need a 4 to hit. Unfortunately, you don't hit.
Bricktop, mark it.
Okay, over to the bard.
Alright, Bricktop will mock. Hey, there's another 4 if it fails.
This is an important one. You gotta pass this, buddy. Yeah, good job. Good job. So you see like a flinching. The hands kind of fall sluggish for a moment. Are you staying where you are? Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
All right. So it is going to try to reach out to you once more. One more time with the disadvantage. So it's going to be a crushing grasp, and I think this time a 16.
Yeah.
Armor class 18.
No,
16
this
misses.
is a bricktop.
Oh, my bad.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Ouch.
that is a lot. 17 damage. Okay, roll your
Yes, sir.
deception. Very nice.
Which is 1 second. It's 1d10. That's proficiency. Proficiency still +2.
So you get your lance in there, intercepting with the blade, which kind of slows down. One of the hands pushes up against it, just kind of keeps pushing, cutting into it. You reduce it by 8. The creature does grab onto you, so you will be taking 9 bludgeoning, and you are grappled as you feel 2 or 3 more of the hands like grab onto your legs, onto your midriff, as the creature is holding on. You feel a bit woozy as it, now that it's got someone, it can use its bonus action to consume vitality, and I would like a con saving throw from you, please, Bricktop.
This one would be against like poison, right? It'd just be
No,
like
no.
necrotic. Okay.
So unfortunately, that is
Not
a
good.
failure, so you'll be taking 2d6 necrotic. Let's see here. That's a pretty high roll.
Oof.
Unfortunately, this will also reduce your hit point maximum by that amount, and you see the creature begin to regain some of its vitality, as the vitality seems to transfer into it. That is all it can do. That'll bring us to Daggett. You can only grapple one at a time. It's now,
Okay.
it's just like pulled Bricktop into its mass of arms and using everything to kind of just consume this one individual now that it's got hold of him.
Yeah. Digit is gonna try to turn whip.
Ripping at the arms, holding it down. Yeah, you do some damage to it. It's bleeding everywhere.
And as a bonus action, He's gonna do a healing word on Bricktop.
Okay, cool. Back around to Katara as you're seeing all this happen. The kind of telepathic screams of the creature pushing out once more. You hear Kiana next to you just kind of sobbing and pulling in on herself. But what are you doing, Katara?
Seeing the Bricktop taking the damage, she will make her move down to here and
Change that.
will
Music.
use her quarterstaff.
That'll hit this time. Very nice. Just slamming into the creature, trying to do as much as you can. It's two-handed, right?
Yes.
Wait, no. Wait,
And then
isn't one weapon
we'll
always one-handed?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. So 5, and then anything else?
yes, she's going to use her cat's claws attack.
Right. That'll do the job. 8 further slashing to this creature. It looks like it's losing a lot of its mass at this point, slowing down. It's very wounded.
And I will spend a key point to do the flurry of blows, but with the flurry of blows, I'm actually going to use my monk training to be able to see if I can find it here.
Is this a special subclass thing? What you want to do?
Yeah, I'll just do a second attack with the cat's claws. I can't find it right here, so.
Okay. I'm going to remove the dynamic lighting for this area. So 15 will hit as you continually slicing into this thing. It is still standing, so to speak, but looking extremely wounded.
And that'll be the end of her turn.
Okay, over to you, Makari.
Okay. And this is a mass of bleeding arms, even if it is bleeding a lot. I'm not going to trust it's nearly dead, so let's play defensive. We are going to give Bricktop, because I can't see his health total, I'm going to guesstimate 7. You can have 7 of my lay on hands.
He's pretty healthy, I think, eh? Oh, Bricktop, sorry, I thought you were talking about Ogrish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never mind.
But my max is 1 less.
Yeah, so you wouldn't get the one. Obviously. And we are going to move. Trying to think, because can I move here?
Not on the spider. There's a bit too many people there.
Stay where I am. I was just trying to make sure I got everyone in intercept range. Cost 10.
That'll bring us around to Ogrish again.
Attack with the war pick. 13.
That'll
Oh wait,
just
and he's
hit.
blessed.
13 will just hit, it's fine.
Take that, foul creature.
Hanging on by a thread. See, Bricktop's close to kind of pulling himself out, but the hands are just clawing at his hair, his clothes, everything. Anything else, Ogrish?
That'll be the end of his turn.
Okay, Bricktop, you are grappled but not restrained. So what are you going to be doing?
Bricktop is going to swing his longsword and try to hit something.
That will just
Hey.
hit. Very nice. Yeah, you reach back, kind of spinning around, looking now, facing yourself towards the creature as you come in for kind of a final attack. You face a mass of kind of rotted joints and digits that all flash in front of your face. You can't really even see what you're striking at. You just kind of lunge forward and find your weapon sinking deep into the central mass of the creature. You can see all the hands kind of spasm and go rigid at once as the creature collapses. Some of the hands pulling you down onto the floor with it, but the telepathic communications cease and kind of the air falls still.
Well done, Bricktop. Could not
Thank you.
withstand your mockery. It died in shame.
You hear,
I don't feel too good, guys.
fair enough. There's a slump, and you see in the corner the lady against the wall falls into what seems to be some sleep, unconsciousness, something.
They're just gonna go over and try to see, do a medicine check to see. She's
Okay, very nice. Yeah, looking her over, she's definitely alive. From what you can tell, she seems extremely sleep deprived and most likely has been tormented by the strange creature for quite a few days at this point. She'll probably wake up in a couple of hours again.
okay, perfect. There doesn't seem to be like some lingering effect.
I mean, not that you can see outwardly. It's
Okay.
kind of hard to tell.
Okay. He's gonna turn to everyone and say, she seems to simply be exhausted.
In the meantime, what are you guys doing in the situation? I mean, you're next to this really disgusting amalgamation of arms. The victims of which kind of scattered around this room here. I should have added corpses. I forgot to. So you're surrounded by like a bunch of deceased farmers that are missing their arms from the shoulders down.
Agrush is going to investigate,
Okay.
check the bodies.
So, from what you can tell, I mean, these strange tunnels, continuations, you see marks, and over to the north, you see a couple of a bit of light shining through as you can see a tunnel that leads up to the floorboards in the kitchen. Just barely a bit of light shining through. It seems like the crawling hands tunneled their way from these tunnels, probably creating them themselves over time, and these tunneled up into the house. As you move through, the workers kind of checking, every now and again you pick up a couple of a keepsake here, like a necklace or a few coins. It doesn't seem they have lots on them. You do find a couple of interesting objects underneath. Let's just turn this off. Underneath the where the creature was, kind of behind it, there seems to be some kind of makeshift lair or something like that where it was resting. And you do come away with a couple of strange objects here. There's a bit of coinage, along with some jewelry and necklaces. But the two objects that are the strangest would be a vial of liquid that has kind of a murky object floating in the center, and then a leather pouch that you kind of rattling around. You thought it was more coinage, but upon looking inside, it seems to be filled with beans.
A bag of beans. Agrush will kind of summon the party. What do you make of these items?
Fuck bean.
So I'll put the coinage you find down in there.
If I take a bean from the bag, does anything happen?
You can lift a bean from the bag. Yeah, nothing seems to happen.
I sniff it. What does it smell like?
What does a bean smell like? That is a very good question. That's a slightly earthy, like nature, full of potential that hasn't yet blossomed.
Can I try to determine what kind of beans they are?
Yes, with what roll? You could give us a nature, survival, arcana would be appropriate as well. Okay, these are these are not natural beans. I mean, not that you know every type of bean that is in existence, but looking at it, there's definitely something strange. It is as kind of Bakari felt as well, brimming with potential. It's hard to put your finger on it.
Okay.
I mean, you would, with what you've seen, you'd probably guess that it slips into the arcane.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna mention that to the party.
I was going to say, so I shouldn't eat it.
No. I'm sure it has some other properties that fortunately, I cannot determine.
Large ears either side his head do droop, and he frowns a bit, but he puts the bean back in the bag.
Right. And so what's the plan? You're standing amongst these bodies here. I'm gonna help you with this.
We should take Kiana back to her people.
Kari suggests purging the whole building by fire.
Yeah, please.
No objection here.
And the places look like they're about to fall apart anyways.
Don't need to burn everything down, just this one building.
Okay, so as you decide the best way to go about this, we're going to be taking a halfway break here. I'm going to say 5-10 minutes. I should help my wife with something, and then we will resume.
Okay.
All right.
Go back.
start that again. Okay. Good. Yeah, so I imagine you guys have gone upstairs with the lady in question, Kiana. What's the plan here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to check the 4 farmers and see if their eyes are still glowing red.
Sure. You move up to the. As you kind of come upstairs, you immediately see a bit of movement as some of them are coming to. This kind of causes you to react, opening eyes that are thankfully white. They look around. Ah! What is. Why am I bleeding? What is. They are definitely kind of distraught, looking around at each other. However, whatever enchantment seems to have fallen off, they see Kiana. What is going on? They are rightfully pretty confused and worried.
Should vacate this house at once. You were possessed by the spirit of an evil entity. We must burn this house to lay the dead to rest.
They do not need telling twice. They kind of see the bloody red handprints, they see the crawling claws, getting their friends, shaking them awake. Those that are still alive, they run out of the house as soon as they can, kind of collapsing onto the ground outside, conversing, talking to each other, kind of shaking each other, seeing that they're alive once more. You guys, are you setting fire to the place? Is that right?
I'm in agreement. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this torch here? Is it just a light source, or is it an actual torch?
Which one are you referring to?
This one.
Somewhere on the map? Oh, those are, there were lanterns. Yeah, you could make use of those.
Okay. So if there's lanterns there, is there some lantern oil somewhere?
I mean, in the lanterns, they all have a reservoir. You could probably smash and use them as like slow Molotovs.
Okay, because Makari's already stated his intent, and he's already picking up the lantern. He's about to throw it on the massive hands. He does at least give people a get out the way.
Fair enough. Well,
Is there anything up in the house that we could use to kind of seal this underground chamber? You know, make it have an explosion of some type to have it cave in?
explosion. I mean, that's a bit of a tall ask for just a farmhouse. I mean, if you could think of any chemical reactions I'm not aware of, maybe with like potatoes and
Flour.
vinegar, or I don't know.
Well,
They have flour.
Flour is pretty flammable, I guess. Yeah. when it's
or
in the air.
fertilizer. You can create explosives with fertilizer, and also grapevines.
Grapevines. Okay,
Yeah, grapevines are used to create fireworks.
that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, back in my home country, that's how they do it.
Maybe
Ghetto
Brick
style.
Top.
Something so that not only do we burn the house upstairs, but that we cause this chamber to be buried and inaccessible.
It'll
Maybe
be
Brick Top.
difficult to do the whole thing. It's quite a large one, but
At least, you know,
at least the entrance, I'd imagine we should be able to.
yeah, and maybe where the
Like here as well. A couple of the small
yes,
places.
exactly, couple of spots that, you know, I'd say where the lair
Yeah.
was of this creature, you know, something like that. Just
I mean, it looks to have destabilized the foundations of the house with all the crawling claws digging out into the earth. So it's possible with the degradation of the house, it might all just come down.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be great.
I mean, setting the house on fire will help with that because it'll destabilize it even
Yeah,
more.
good point. Good point.
I mean, there's also goods down in the pantry. You could throw lots of flammable stuff down there to make sure. I mean, it's not going to burn much down there, but not too clued up on arson, I guess. However you guys would like to accomplish this, you have the rest of the day effectively. You can see in the distance Kiana is beginning to cough and splutter and coming to some form of consciousness. Hey, hey! Psst, psst. Leave your sister's food.
I was going to ask Bricktop to move.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask if Bricktop would have insight into how to collapse the cavern like last time.
Would Bricktop be able to see anything, or is this more just like just a tunnel system?
Yeah, this is
Like,
this is like a creature with undead fortitude and lots of time. It's not the
Not like
smallest.
a man-made.
It looks like these tunnels that fissure and spiderweb off into the distance do go for quite. I mean, as far as you can see, they like move off. It seems like the creatures tunneled through the earth to get to this cavern here.
Perhaps they came to this place for a purpose from some
Yeah.
other place.
You do.
Yeah, it seems they
Yes.
seem to have gathered from a bunch of different areas and combined within the spot. Then did who knows what to forget her name.
You hear the arrival of Tungsten Ward and Lady Dre. The wagon seems to be a bit rickety. You can see one of the wheels is a bit nicked, causing a slight kind of bump on every rotation, but it's still moving for the most part. There's a kind of wave and call out. They would run forward, seeing all the farmers there, try and assist them, aid them. I believe asking them what's going on in the meantime while you guys are busy.
Makar's going to ask anyone else in the party if they have any more use for the pile of hands.
No.
No.
Okay, well, he throws the lantern on it, smashing it.
Okay, house begins to catch. Fire growing.
It's not necessarily like house, it's the thing hands,
Sorry?
specifically.
Oh, you're just burning the corpse, okay.
Just burning he's purging this, just in
Yeah,
case, because he doesn't trust it. And then he'll take the last lantern and burn the house with Lily.
So, I mean, you do hear another voice as kind of Kiana gets to her head, gets to her feet, rubbing her head. She does look quite worse for the wear, but she looks confused, as if she's struggling to recall the events of late. And I feel like I've lost an old friend all over again. I don't really know what has happened. She kind of stares up, the fire of the burning house reflecting in her eyes. But I feel... She looks around to see kind of who's around her. She moves over to the... kind of slowly moving to the farmers that are still here. Oh, it is good to see you, my friends. Do you know what happened to the others? They kind of slowly shake her head, their heads. She starts to mumble under her breath, and you do catch the words Cradle Lace Lake.
I think we should investigate this lake next. Seems to be the source of the trouble.
Agreed.
It looks like these people are at least doing better than they were. I'm really grateful for what you guys have done. It's kind of Tungsten stands up He's beginning to hand out rations. Great Lace Lake lies even further into the rattles than we stand here. You're looking at another couple of hours travel up here over those hills, kind of points off into the distance. No one's gone there in the longest time now.
Well, time to revisit it.
I think we should rest before we go there.
And last session, I believe you said they have a bunch of crops that cannot be used anymore.
The crops here, well, also because of neglect, they seem to be kind of just rotting where they stand in the field. Some of them
Okay.
harvested into piles and then just left there. Others kind of going to seed.
Do they seem like if I were to cast Purify Food and drink on them, would it purify them, or is it not possible?
Just double check one thing here. Hey, Finn, leave your sister. And, well, link the spell for me quick. Yeah, that's not going to help in this situation.
Okay.
They're not diseased.
Just making sure. Okay then.
And you hear Tungsten Ward speak up. I think if you guys are going on to Cradle Lace Lake, I'm gonna hang around with you guys, if you don't mind a bit more. I'm feeling that this might even lead up to a verse or two in the Song of Awakening. Looks over to the kind of recovering farmers.
Well, we would be most pleased to have our names memorialized in your song. It is difficult to rhyme with Agrush, though. I'm sure there are many words that you can think of.
Bricktop starts like scribbling down, getting ideas for words that rhyme with Agrush.
Nice. So I take it you guys are at the very least gonna congregate around the outside of the burning house and have a short rest?
How long has it been since we took the last long rest?
Didn't we spend the night at the farmhouse
Yes.
with the guy? Had some gruel in the morning, and then set out in the wagon with Tungsten Ward and Lady Dre.
Oh yeah, that was after we fought the wolves, right?
Uncle Polder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would imagine you're looking at like early afternoon at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, a short rest by the burning house to see if anything comes out or if anything changes. It's probably not a bad idea.
Nice. Well, as you're resting, you do notice one or two crawling claws kind of emerging from the ground, seeking a refuge from the heat, fleeing from the debris of the building. Easy enough to stamp them down, take them out, 2 hit points each. As for the most part, there's no sign of the Soul Shaker. It seems to have fallen completely. Kiana still seems quite kind of fluff-headed as she's looking around trying to get her sense of self back. She also asks if she could accompany you to Cradle Lace Lake. I feel like I need closure on this. Please.
Of course. You must come with us.
Well, you guys can go ahead and regain your short rest resources. As there's this huge billowing pyre of smoke into the sky that's visible from miles around. As the farmhouse begins to lose a little bit of its structural integrity. You see corners of the roof begin to sag and bow in as it seems close to collapsing in certain parts.
Does my do I start to feel a little better after short rest, or is this a longer rest for hit point
yes.
max?
Let me double check
Yeah.
that for you. And you guys are, if you'd like, we can go and do the short rest item identification kind of homebrew rules if you'd like. So you guys can
Yeah.
find out what some of that stuff is. Let's see here. Consume vitality. Yeah, it's a longer rest kind of thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so the
Yeah, because Bricktop has actually has identify.
well, that works perfectly then. So Bricktop, in that case. Oh wait, no, you don't have to roll yet. Here we are, bag of beans. Multiple effects, ranging up to summoning a pyramid with a mummy lord inside, or a beanstalk to an alternate dimension, or simple explosions. The potion, the object floating around inside it was a giant's toenail, as it is a potion of stone giant strength, so a 23 strength score temporarily.
Ooh. Wow.
Damn. That's nice. For 1 hour, nice.
For an hour.
And let's see here. So technically, you guys should be leveling up after this fight, but I don't want to interrupt the flow of the session too much. So I think maybe we leave it till the end of the session. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
Yeah,
Okay,
easiest
we'll do
thing.
that. Well, the long rest
because
completes.
that way maybe we could.
Yeah?
Maybe we could take a long rest as well, and level up, and
Fair
then
enough.
come back fresh.
Well, not just because of the fire that's rising from the house. The sky itself, blood red, as begins to head towards evening time. You can see a beautiful array of colors here on God's Breath. Not the same palette that you are used to. This seems to be quite more maroons into the darkened, burning reds. It is beautiful, definitely, in its own way, as you can every now and again hear on the breeze this kind of whispered song, as the Song of Awakening is being sung around the land at the moment. And the whole time while you've been hearing the song, for the most part, it's not people just singing plain sentences. It's kind of it's a musical harmony that people form together, and as the tune falls upon your ears, your brain kind of interprets it, and you begin to understand the individual heroic tale, or the defense of a city, or how the gods banded together to create the ribbon and allow people a safe place to farm. And it's definitely enlightening, to say the least. And as you begin to head off, is there anything you want to do here before you head off towards Cradle Lace Lake? Alright, so as you
No, I
begin...
will say I have I've added 3 spells to my character sheet because I realised that I wasn't using my feat spells. So I just figured I'd let you know, because if you look at my character sheet and realise that I've got Shield, Prestidigitation, and Firebolt, you'll ask why. But it's in my Prismari initiative.
Alright.
Feat.
No problem. So with that, you kind of pull away from the house, and you're heading into fairly, it's probably about 4 p.m. at this point. And this is still this black trail rising into the sky as half of the house collapses, just with this resounding crash falling down. You can see, or at least the roof of the pantry, the entrance into the cellar, seems to be very much blocked by debris and rubble, and the heat coming off that is enough to melt steel beams effectively. As you guys head off into the distance towards Cradle Ace Lake, you're heading into a rougher terrain. Trees beginning to... Well, I mean, you're in the Rattle, so this is a fairly rough terrain already. It is wild, creatures roaming around, it is dangerous. The farmers find some benefit from the land out here. They can still grow things. It's not as bad as the safer side on the other side of the ribbon. But you guys got to keep your eyes out while you are here, and you can see, let's see here, I think for now the farmers, the 4 of them, are going to make towards Uncle Polder's, probably, which isn't too far away, seeing as all these houses are filled with red X's and this one is burning. But the wagon that Lady Dre has can take the party, at least to give you some ease of travel. Tungsten Ward will begin to sing along the way a little bit. A rhyme, not so much, not a rhyme really, this beautiful flowing melody that translates into the kind of, you hear what sounds to be the founding of the town of Promise, people coming together and vowing to protect each other, to fight against the beasts of the Rattle, to keep the Covenant close to heart. It is extremely strange, a foreign experience to all of the people not from God's Breath, but a very interesting and enlightening experience as you move up into the darkened hills, away from the tilled farmlands around you. Things start to get colder and slightly more menacing as you hear what sounds like large, I mean, you know there's giant coyotes out here, you've experienced them, and you kind of hear these calls out in the distance, hunting packs moving through the hills, not close towards you necessarily, but there. And as the light quality begins to fade, going into twilight, making it a little bit difficult to see, you can definitely notice the 2 native, little Lady Dre and Tungsten Ward, definitely starting to look a bit nervous. Kiana's had a nap again as the travels have gone on to kind of regain a bit more strength. But as you hit like a particularly rough patch of hill, you can see her jolted up and kind of come to alertness, looking around. Just sitting silently from that point on, as it takes about a further half an hour from that point. You would arrive there at about probably about 7, 7:30, as the sun is now completely blocked by the mountains in the distance. You have been thrown into shade for quite a long time. You hear a whisper from a kind of more an intake of breath from Kiana as the ground starts to get more muddy and the horses begin to squelch as they move, and you eventually move through a little valley between 2 hills with trepidation as you can see signs with kind of no entry signs, skulls on them, just trying to warn people away. And what you see as you come around into into a valley that looks like a dried up bowl, still at the bottom is like marshy and wet, and you see little pinpricks of movement as you can identify these. I mean, you've experienced interacting with them recently, these kind of crawling claws, pushing through the dirt, just kind of rooting around. Not sure what exactly it is they're doing, but standing almost as if it has been just risen up from the muck or the water level drained, which kind of does match with the tree trunks nearby. It does seem like the water is much lower than it normally is. You see this kind of swampy, kelp encrusted house standing in the center of what was once a much larger body of water.
Is the foundation of the house in the water or above the water?
It's in the water. There's probably, if you were standing in the bottom floor, would probably be like ankle deep maybe. There's a slight slant to it as it lists to one side, sinking deeper into the mud. You hear from Kiana that wasn't. That's not supposed to be there. The water is drained away.
Curious. Agrush will toss a leaf or something very light into the water to see if it's flowing in very slowly in a particular direction to try and discern if it's being drained.
Sure. There's no particular strong current that catches it. It swirls in like a general kind of circular pattern as you watch for a little bit.
Perhaps the water is draining down into the earth.
So you guys would be about, see here on the map, it's coming in off dry land. They're gonna pull up short. I don't think my horses are gonna fare too well in that. I'm gonna stop the wagon here, maybe a bit further back. You can hear as well, proclaim a ward. That does look like the old Cradle Lace house. I mean, it shouldn't be there. It was swallowed by a sinkhole. I mean, everybody knows that.
Iana, is this the location where Kali was lost in the water?
Kind of eyes, leave your sister. Eyes open in fear. She points off to the side, a bit back from where you were actually. It was all different back then, but I remember standing next to that post, and she kind of points up to a what looks to be like a wooden handrail that's kind of standing now arbitrarily a bit higher up the slope.
Well, if anyone wants to ride on my shoulders, now is the time to ask. Agrush is preparing to step into the water.
It doesn't look, from what you can see, that deep, but it'll probably come up to at least like kind of knee high.
Makari, is your spider going to go in the water?
You should be able to, but it's not that deep.
Yes, you'll see.
I don't know. DM, does my spider seem like it doesn't want to go in this water?
There's a lovely arbitrary question.
Makari
It should be fine with its size. It's not in any risk of drowning.
There you go. Now you have your answer.
You would see Katara begrudgingly and gingerly step into the to the water.
Nice. So, I mean, these crawling hands, they don't kind of react as you get in. You probably pass nearish one or two, easy enough to pick off at range beforehand if that's your intention. I imagine you're making your way
Yes.
towards the house.
Yes.
Okay. It never gets really deeper than like mid-thigh as you push forward. You can see the house slightly deeper down on the right-hand side. Looks like it's literally just been kind of pulled up out of the water and drained. You can see all kind of cracks up the sides of the house where all kinds of water plants have grown hold, now kind of hanging limply in the exposed air. And as you move forward closer towards it, that is going to bring you onto another map. Just bring you across there. Yeah, there's an open window on the first floor that kind of looks into a derelict derelict kind of entry hall. The door is closed and you can see it looks a bit swollen with water. So let's get your tokens onto you. So I've done this map completely with the player clickable doors and windows, so you guys can feel free to, explore, open what you want. What's the plan here, guys? There's no sounds coming from within. It's kind of the wet squelching from the crawling claws moving through the marsh behind you.
Grish is going to open the door.
So this one, unfortunately, seems swollen in its hinges. You're welcome to make an athletics check to just kind of pop it inwards there.
Take that.
There's a crowbar to help you.
More than enough. His shoulders a crowbar.
Thank you.
Yeah, the door just swings open very stiffly, and you see what looks to be a washed out house inside. Although it appears like it's been underwater for a very long time, you still see tables, chairs at the table. You see this kind of plant covered creature of some kind of relation to a deer that has been mounted here. A couple of skeletons scattered around, sitting at the table in various poses. You can see that all the skeletons here are missing missing their arms effectively from the shoulders down.
I'm not anxious to face another one of those many-armed monstrosities.
No, certainly
Grush
not.
is gonna.
It seems as if this might be the starting point for this whole plague here.
Well, it very well might be. We got a 19 from Agrush as he begins to look around. Just this general dining room area, looking for clues.
Yeah, dining room, hearth, skeletons. It's that area.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, the main thing missing their arms. I mean, you've heard the tale of this, how the house was apparently pulled into the ground by a sinkhole, and the mother, going crazy, didn't want to leave some of her kids behind and kind of pulled the others that were trying to escape, all the other family members, back in here. It's hard to tell if this was, obviously completely true. It's been passed down from generation to generation. But as you look around here, I mean, it's definitely, you'd first of all obviously notice the missing arms. The skeletons are spread out like they've been here for a long time, but they look like they're from different ages. Some seem much kind of more covered in natural swamp plants, turning the bones kind of a greeny shade. Let's see here. The final thing you notice as you look around, well, two things actually. One, that there is what appears to be a amulet strewn around this skeleton's frame, around the neck, and the other is kind of as you root through the dresser here, you see you see most of it is kind of waterlogged nonsense. A couple of pieces of cutlery long rusted into non-existence. But you do come across what looks to be a waxed parchment. Opening it up, it's not like a spell scroll or anything like this. You see a odd combination of pictures and symbols that you don't necessarily recognize.
Ari, what do you make of this? Can you use your painter's skills to discern something?
Okay. I will Daniel Jackson this bitch. Me. What would you like for it?
You can make a painter's check wisdom seems appropriate. 9. Alright, difficult this time. It seems like it. I mean, from what you can tell, what seems obvious is it's describing some series of events. Some of the symbols, some of the pictures are like little stick figures in various poses, but as to what it means, it's just another language, it's some kind of cipher, you're not sure.
Okay. I will at least explain that to a group that it appears to be telling a tale, though what it's trying to describe is a mystery to me.
There is actually
Ritual.
one person in the group that would recognize this, and that would be Bricktop.
Riptop will take a look at the parchment.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what it says, but you've seen these symbols before, and you've seen the symbolism. You've seen it from the Proclaimers, those that kind of bring the Song of Awakening wherever they go. This is a recording of some of the verses of Song of Awakening.
I recognize it, but I can't read it. You said,
Correct.
right? Okay. Perhaps Tungsten would be able to translate this for us.
Agrush will put it in his scroll case for safekeeping.
Sure. So you see stairs in the main hall. This place does have both a second floor and a basement.
Well, shall we explore the main floor here first?
Yes.
Okay. So as you move to the other side of the house, there seems to be. Hey, let's get the party token up here as well. Kind of dining, lounge area. You're not really sure. Most of the cabinets are kind of rotted with water exposure. As you look around here, one or two more bodies lying under the table. There's definitely. Hey, dogs, come and stop this. There's definitely more bodies here than warrants a kind of a single family, as the story told. So it seems like over time, misfortunates have been kind of adding to the population of the household here. There is a room.
Agrush will try the door to the north.
Yeah, you can do so. As you did it work? Yeah, you open it and you see, as you step inside, a couple of crawling claws will drop upon you from a shelf above. They are going to make some claw attacks against you with advantage. But none of them. They kind of land on his shoulders and he freaks out, throwing his hands up, reacting, pulling for his weapon, and they kind of get flung to the side corners of the room. Whoever wants to can make an attack at this moment against them.
Ah.
Yep. It's pretty much a hit will mean one of them die. They all have 2 health. So as you kind of peg down these creepy crawlies, I'm going to drag you back into initiative for that. They've failed the surprise attack and are strewn around the room. As what you find is some kind of study, a kind of desk here, and chairs strewn around the room. There does seem to be a couple of drawers here that you, as you go through, you find a couple of mostly intact ink pots, if you're interested in that at all. Seems to be 3 or 4 left here, as well as what is unfortunately mostly kind of a conglomerated pile of mush, but a little bit of writing still remains on the top. You're welcome to, I think, perception, investigation, or any kind of check like that to kind of discern any of the writings left in this.
This writing confuses me.
Okay. Bricktop could make some of it out at least. Katara as well, a little bit more helping out as from what you can see, there's not too much information, a couple of sentences. And they talk about a boy named Steph. And from what you can tell here, let's see. It seems to be written from the perspective of his mother, as she speaks of worry for a child that is trying to join the Proclaimers, and then it kind of gets a bit blurry for a while. You see a bit more, a bit further down the page, a couple of sentences. He was excited about something, and then it kind of fades off again. That's pretty much all you can make out.
Sorry, my microphone was off. Did you say the name was Steph
Yeah.
or Seth? Steph.
S-T-E-F.
Okay. Alright. Is that just a well over there?
That is a well, yes.
Okay.
Once everyone starts and done, I'm going to go grab these pots again.
Okay. So let's see. Passive perception, I think. Is it anyone that's super high? 15's the highest, looks like. Dig it. Okay. What's the plan from here?
Upstairs.
Kind of feel the house creak ever so slightly, almost like listing, as if it's kind of sinking incrementally deeper into the muck.
Start heading upstairs.
So that would bring you up here. Let's put the party token down. There. You head up into what looks to be a fairly well kept kind of entrance area, sitting room, and there is a couple of bodies strewn around as well. Large double doors to the southwest and another door to the south open up to two different rooms. Okay, you guys are going to start looking around. Well, at the very least, to open these doors, open, peering into a sitting room. As you step in, you can see a couple of people as well at their end here. Apparently, it almost looks like the skeletons have been laid out in some cases, like put into the chair, because no one would obviously be sitting there. This place was kind of swallowed by a sinkhole. It defies reason that the structure isn't completely destroyed as it stands. Any books that stood on the shelf over here have kind of long since swollen into nothingness. What you see as you look through here, and we can put, let's get more tokens down for everyone. This seems to be the master bedroom in the bottom left of this floor here. There's kind of a covering screen, as that you would, privacy screen that you would kind of use to section off a room. And then to the north, a bed with a single figure kind of splayed out on top of it. This is the first skeleton you've seen that has arms. So we see there was one roll for investigations. Another roll. Diggett's trying to use perception. Okay, just looking around. Are you guys looking for anything in particular here?
Kind
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Trying to survey the room.
Okay.
No.
So, from what so you can open up here. There's a door to the south that opens up into a bathtub with another kind of a person deceased lying in the bottom. As you look around, the pose of the skeleton on the bed kind of catches your attention, and as you move over to there, obviously the first one you've seen with arms, even though I couldn't find armless skeletons, you have to forgive me for that. They look to be reaching for something, kind of like they're crawling to the edge of the bed. As looking underneath, you do see a small chest, kind of at the back, just out of reach of the skeleton.
They're just gonna go up to the skeleton and try to determine how long it has been here, mostly to see if it's the oldest one from the
Sure.
from the rest.
Okay. So this is definitely the oldest skeleton you've seen here. The only one with its arms once again, and there is something else. While the house was said to, according to the legend, to have been pulled down into the ground as a sinkhole opened up in front of it. But I mean, as you can see around you, the house is very much intact, and there's no fracture marks or bludgeoning damage that you've seen in any of the skeletons. In fact, what you do see, especially noticeable as you look at this one, slight kind of stress fractures and cracks that you wouldn't have experienced too much, but you would have read as extreme exposure to radiant damage, effectively.
Okay.
She was hit by a huge blast of radiant damage.
Okay. Yeah, he'll relay the information to the rest of the party. Well, if we are to believe the legends, which seems to go against what is here, this would be the woman that was keeping the children, which is why my guess is other children were being taken. But looking around doesn't seem to make that much sense. Seems something else was going on.
Is the chest under the bed locked?
It is. And as you slide it out, you hear a crash from downstairs.
What was that?
You hear the creaking / crushing of the stairs as something moves. Not from the first floor to the second, but from the basement to the first floor.
Okay.
And
Mara is going to use some spider silk to strap that chest to a spider.
you hear this time not telepathic. You hear a voice scream out, and it's a strange voice. It sounds like multiple people kind of overlaid on top of each other, and it sounds something like this. As there's an eruption of activity from downstairs, and something begins to move higher up and towards the base of the stairs to the second floor. You hear the screaming. Alright, did you hear that?
No.
Ah.
No.
Okay, I'll make it a bit
I heard
louder
that he
than
cannot be
usual.
contained.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh. I guess it's just me then.
I just
Yeah.
got a creepy voice bite for it. Got a couple of lines. So, you guys are upstairs currently, so I'm just going to remove your tokens from the bottom floor here. What is the immediate reaction here? Immediate plan?
Bruce
Yeah.
draws his war pick and he will go to the top of the stairs and hide. Are these the stairs to the north of him?
This would be the entrance here.
Yeah, he's just going to wait for something to come up the stairs, and when he sees something, the triggering action will be if it looks hostile, he's going to attack it with the war pick.
Okay. So a hold action by you, and you do hear kind of the stairs begin to give out, smash as something rips and tears itself further and further up, closer towards you all. And let's see, emerging into the room. Wait, so Katara, are you with us? See, it says AFK there. Okay, no worries. He's standing right there. I imagine he wouldn't want to do that. I'll just put him here for now. So your hold action can go off as pushing itself up a horrid amalgamation of bodies, flesh and decayed, writhing. You can see many faces turning to look at you as there's some kind of legion-like consciousness behind it, moving all the bits at once in unison. And you can see the kind of structure of the house get ripped and teared as this creature pulls itself up onto the second floor. And yeah, that's going to bring us into initiative. Of course, Agrush, your hold action will trigger.
The 16 hit.
Yes. Okay, very nice. That's a low roll. Okay. So, well, see if Bull's back with us. That's no problem. Do you guys want to wait a couple minutes for Bill, or do you want me to just NPC for him? What do you feel?
Let's maybe, since we all rolled above the primary enemy, maybe we can, if he shows up, we'll let him take his action, but if we get to the enemy, then I think he's got to attack it.
Okay, so then we'll start with Makari.
Did we get a long rest or a short rest?
Short rest.
Short rest.
Okay, so I have one spell. I'm going to save that then. Rifle step here. Make a nice barrier, and we're just going to poke it.
Nice. Stabbing into the mass of amalgamated bodies. Let's see what damage. 10 piercing. Takes the damage, but it keeps coming on. For now, at least. Bricktop. Is that the end, Makari?
Yeah.
Okay, Bricktop.
Bricktop is going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. At the amalgamation.
Okay. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Let's see here. It's going to make a wisdom save. Which it is going to fail. Unfortunately, it is immune to incapacitated.
Yeah.
The condition.
That was a gamble. But,
Yep.
Okay.
But it still takes, what, was it damage as well, or just, no, just capacity?
No, it's just... Yeah.
Alright.
Bonus action, going to inspire Agrush. Hit it harder.
Watch this.
Nice. Okay, well, you get your die on that. You can reposition yourself if you want as we go over to Digit.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Someone knocked on my
Oh,
door.
that's fine.
Basically, what he's gonna do is
Don't stress, dude.
spiritual
Go-
weapon
Go for it.
and Toll the Dead. about that.
So spiritual weapon and
Uh,
told the dead. I'll make a wisdom save for it. This time gets a 20. But your spiritual weapon does hit for 7 force. You can see bits of kind of body falling off as the creature gets stabbed and sliced into. Yes.
The so the spiritual weapon is gonna be over there, and it looks like a whip, and the whip part is made of like vines which have some thorns on it, and the the hilt seems to be made out of rose petals, and the pommel has a rose on it.
Okay. Nice. I'll get a token for you for next time. But you lash out. It does deal 7 force. And then, are you staying where you are?
Yeah.
Then that'll bring us to Agrush.
All right, Agrush is going to attack with the war pick. If a 12 doesn't hit, he'll use his inspiration to add 4 to it.
That'll do it then. Yeah, some of the bodies try and kind of move in front to deflect the blow, and you change the angle of attack and just slam right into them. You can hear them wailing with pain as for 12 points of damage. You guys are hacking away pretty heftily at it.
Use an action surge to
Nice.
attack it again with war pick.
Yeah, it'll do it.
16 hits.
Further 8.
Take that. I'm inspired.
You see these bodies kind of swirling around, and some being used as like feet, some being used as hands to grip on the walls and just push. And you can see leaving this like marks of wet viscera where they go as bones are snapping. There's this overlaid voice of the kind of the many bodies that consist of this creature kind of screaming out again as wait, we get to Katara's before this guy's turn goes, so let's see here. I don't know if, I mean, Katara would fight with you guys. I don't know if he wants to end his turn right next to it, seeing as you frontliners have that. Maybe for the first round we'll just take a bow shot. What do you guys think?
Think
Boo is back.
Yeah.
Kara's back.
Oh, cool. Hey, Bill. Nice to
Just
be
in
back.
time.
You are muted still in Discord, eh? Aha, we have a shot. Fortunately, with the disturbing images of the creature up ahead, that does go awry. 4 pissing will not do it. As they're able to, you see Katara taking cover maybe behind the wall or wherever they want to approach this. But that will bring us around to this creature. And as it does, you see it cries out as well as a body drops to the ground. You see a corpse get up as one of the more wounded bodies actually disattaches and pops out at the start of its turn as a zombie in this square here. Okay, and then it's going to go ahead and completely pull itself up into the room, coming up onto the landing and surging forward to just kind of launch itself against you two. Probably that's going to be all right. So it's going to make a weapon attack. Let's see. Obviously, the closest one being Ogrush. I think it'll just target him first for this one. Right, slam. A 19 to hit you, Ogrush. I think that does the job, eh?
19 hits.
So that's going to be 8 bludgeoning as you feel the force of these bodies, and yeah, looks like we have some interception there. There's also necrotic damage as you can feel the kind of hunger of this creature pulling at you, trying to almost suck the life right out of you, so you'll take 5 less, total of 13. Unfortunately, the end result of that is you are now grappled. as some of the bodies have kind of launched, and you feel multiple sets of arms wrapping around you. Until this grapple ends, you are unfortunately restrained.
For a total of 13. I got that. So takes me down to 17.
And just so you guys are aware, now that this creature's moved into your space, it definitely has a kind of noxious aura that it is exuding. So I'll go ahead and represent that now that it's kind of close enough for you to be aware of this. Okay. Let me make it a less offensive colored, goddamn. But otherwise, I think because it's got you, it's going to go ahead and instead of making its okay, it actually can't. So I'm reading that incorrectly. It can't do that. So it's going to use its second weapon attack to. I want to say. Can they have more than one? Yeah, it probably can. It's just going to slam out against Makari because he's right there. I would think that's the most logical thing for it. 17 to hit you, Makari, will fall short. You just get out of the way. As that will bring us to the end of his turn. The zombie will shuffle forward. Now, Katara, are you back with us, Bill? You're still muted. That's fine. That's fine. Your character's still in the open doorway. I don't know if you would have retreated, but where you currently are would cause this zombie to attack you first. I'll say for the time being, it's going to not notice you in the doorway. It'll make this attack against Makari. Just a simple slam. Probably not going to be able to break through your defenses. That's a 10. It's not going to do it. Alright, so that brings us to the top of the round with Katara. If they we'll get to them at the end. See if they're back with us then. So I think we'll go around to you for now, Makari. And I need you to please make me a save at the beginning of your turn for being in this noxious aura. I need a con saving throw, please.
Yeah. I assume it's not a disease, so my immunity wouldn't work.
It is a poison effect.
Yeah. Okay. God.
So was that you rolling now? That was there you are. Okay, that was Katara. I was wondering what was that. 12. 12. Unfortunately, that will that will not do it. You're going to become poisoned until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
And so that'll. Hold on, Bill. We've been skipping your turn when you haven't been here until the end. Are you back with us? You're welcome to take a shot if you are. You succeed on your con saving throw, so you are not poisoned. There's a zombie in front of you, and the bigger creature beyond that.
You need a con save from Agrush.
At the start of your turn, I will.
Start of the turn. Got it.
Okay, so I think Makari, you can carry on with your turn for now until we hear back from Bill.
So my spider is going to take the disengage action.
Okay,
So
so
I can pop back here.
just remember, you were blocking a 5-foot area, but isn't your spider a large creature? Oh wait, no, you small and the spider's medium. Is that?
Yes.
Okay, so then let's just double check. Is a giant spider only medium by default?
No, it's large. It's large
Yes.
by default.
So we need to just double check that then, so we're not doing anything wrong. But carry on for now. What you want to do?
Just gonna take the disengage, and then I'm gonna lance it through a bush.
A 15 will hit.
Okay. I'm gonna use my only spell slot to unsmite.
Oh, that's a very nice one. And you can go ahead and roll another d8 as an undead.
Another 7 damage, and they get 2d. plus 3. And he gets 14 temporary hit points.
Nice. Okay. Then that'll bring us around to Bricktop.
Alright, Bricktop is going to viciously mock.
That is very low. Yeah, so he takes 3
Yes.
psychic damage.
3 psychic damage, and bonus action, he's going to send a healing word over to Ogrush.
Okay. Also disadvantage on his next attack. That'll bring us around to Daggett. Looks like
Yeah.
4 healing to you, Ogrush.
All right. Thank you.
He's gonna move to there, and he's gonna cast bless on Makaria, Kurush, and Kitara.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
bonus action move the spiritual weapon to attack the big thing.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. That'll bring us around to Ogrush. Are you staying where you are, Daggett?
Uh,
Are you moving back again?
Yep. No, that's it.
Okay. Ogrush. I need
So
a
I'm
con save.
grappled. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And he's grappled but not incapacitated. Is that correct?
Correct. You are restrained, so disadvantage on ability, attack rolls, and dexterity saving throws.
All right.
Yeah, you're fine. You're not poisoned.
I care not. Grapple me if you must. I will continue to attack you.
Okay. So it will be with disadvantage, and an 8, I'm afraid, is not going to do it, as just there's too much corpse around you blocking your swings.
I don't know if the bless would help.
No.
Ending.
Oh, disgusting.
Is that your turn though?
Yes. Oh wait, bonus action, second wind to get some.
Good idea.
All right.
Okay, so here we are for, we're going to use a multi-attack here. It's going to use, this time, it's going to use its envelop once, because it has got a creature restrained. So, it's going to start by making a slam attack against you. And it has both disadvantage and advantage, I believe. So that looks like a natural 1 will stick.
Ha ha ha.
So that will not work. So instead, I think using its envelop, it makes a slam attack. Yeah, and that's all it can do. Unfortunate natural 1 there. That'll bring us around to Katara. Sorry, it won't. Another zombie will drop out, and Katara still has a turn from last round. Another zombie will drop out. Gonna put this one here. And Katara, you back with us?
Yes.
Perfect. You have an action from the previous round. What would you like to do?
Okay, we'll go after the zombie that's right in front of me.
Go for it.
And
That'll hit, yeah.
16 for 5. And then cat claws
Okay.
for another 6. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. It's bloodied after that as you kind of slash into it with a frenzy. The zombies themselves is going to be a slam attack against Ogrush with advantage. 'Cause he
Oh,
is-
I'm sorry. Should I take 2 attacks? I mean, should I take another round since I was...
We're going to get to your turn now, yeah. The zombies are acting just before you.
Okay, sorry.
And no stress, no stress. The second zombie attack, this one's coming at you now. So it's a slam at Katara. This one, sorry, I must turn off the whispering. This one, unfortunately for you, is a natural 20. So that's going to be 7 plus 4, total of 11 points of bludgeoning damage on that one. Oh, sorry, that's your sheet. I need the zombies. Turn off whisper. But that'll bring us to the top of the round again, and we'll be with you, Katara, however you are in the creature's noxious aura. So I need a con save once more, please. No, sorry, if you succeed, you are immune for 24 hours. So you do not need a save again.
Okay.
You can go ahead with your turn then. You're the start of the round.
Right, and the same one that I had attacked first time.
Yep,
We'll
looks to
go
be
after
bloodied.
that one.
Hangs on by a thread.
10, and then Cat's Claw.
Nice. Yeah, you cut it down. Now it's going to make an undead fortitude check. Let's just see here. Re-knits itself and remains on 1 hit point, I'm afraid.
Okay, that'll be my turn.
Very well. Makari, did you pass your... You did pass your save, yeah, so you don't have to make it again. What you doing?
No, I didn't. I was poisoned.
Oh, are you poisoned? Thank you. Completely... Let me actually put a thing on you before I forget. Pretty bad at that.
Yeah, I currently have all the disadvantages.
Yeah, okay. So, you are poisoned. What you going to be doing?
And you are also blessed, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it helps a little bit.
Hmm. Do I do? No, I always play support. Let's do the supporty thing. This throw a firebolt at this zombie here with 1 HP, so the it can't get back up.
Why would it not be able to get back up?
It's fire. Fire stops regeneration. Or is that trolls? That might be trolls.
That's trolls, yeah. This is radiant
Yeah.
or crit strike damage. But 15 will hit for 5 fire, so unfortunately it will get to roll the dice. Let's see here. Fails. Drops smoldering.
Okay, so Makari just believes that fire stops them getting up. It's fine. Read it in a book somewhere, guys.
It's canon. Alright. Bricktop, that brings us around to you.
Alrighty. He is going to just mock the large amalgamation again. Really need short bow.
Okay, succeeds this time, so no disadvantage, unfortunately.
No. Okay. That's gonna be it.
Yeah, and as you are doing that, you can see, I mean, he's definitely noticed you casting spells new. I mean, you're not sure how or where the creature is of its surroundings, but you can see that some of the bodies on the top are making horrible cracking sounds as the kind of bones snap and reform themselves, and some of the corpses are kind of pointed horizontally at you in a strange way. It's us preparing to do something, you're not really sure what.
Joy.
Cool. Are you ending your turn there?
Yes.
Over to Daggett.
Sorry, I forgot to do that. Bonus action. Just gonna get spell slot back.
Sure.
Um,
Wait, so what are you doing? Sorry? You're getting a spell slot back by... Do you have a
Harness
channel...
divine power has.
You've been using that a lot. Do you have any channel divinities? I think you only have 1 per long rest at this stage. I might be wrong.
I have
Short
one
rest.
divine sense. A long rest.
Divine Sense is not the same as
Yeah.
Channel Divinity, though. And Channel Divinity is per short rest. We took a short rest before
But
this, so if
he
you
did
had
just
used
use
it,
it. He just used it on a Groosh to give him temp HP, I think.
Oh, okay. That I don't know.
When he's got one that when you hit with
I-
a smite, you can roll 2d8.
Yeah, I used Inspire and Smite.
Oh, is that not your channel divinity? Am I wrong?
You can use your channel divinity as a bonus action, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how many I have.
Okay.
Is there only one? I thought it was more than one. I thought it was paladin left or something.
Yeah, then you. Yeah, no, you only have one for now.
Finn, leave your sister. Go in your bed. Hey, handsome boy. Yes, sis.
Okay.
Fucking hell. Alright.
Sorry, I thought I had more. Then I don't do that. And
No
I don't have a
stress.
spell.
I mean, you still have your action, don't you?
No, I did everything. Right, I was kind of out of turn. I just something I forgot to do. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Daggett, you used... What are you doing?
Gonna do. Try to toll the dead.
Okay. Another wisdom save from the corpse mound. This should be 3 higher than what I roll. I clicked the wrong button. Doesn't matter. It succeeds. It's very intent in enveloping Ogrush. Yeah, stop this.
Yeah. And bonus action, try to hit it again with the spiritual weapon.
Alright. That does hit 11 forces. That brings us around to Ogrush.
So I see that Ogrush is grappled, which makes his movement 0, and then he's restrained, which makes his attack rolls have disadvantage,
Correct.
and dexterity saving throws have disadvantage.
Yes.
But if he did an ability check, that would not be with disadvantage. Is that correct?
Yes.
So can he try and grapple or restrain the corpse amalgamation back? Restrain me, will you? No, I will restrain you.
Well, I mean, you've got spirit. Let's see here. Good heavens. I mean, yeah. Let's see it. It'll roll back, and that looks like it's gonna succeed on this one. I'm afraid. As it has you kind of held out with many bodies, you try and kind of break out to hold down the creature, but you find yourself pinned.
Okay.
It's a valiant
All right.
effort.
That's the end of Agrush's turn.
Alright, back to the corpse mound, which in a kind of survival sense realizes it's been taking a bit too much damage here, looking at the others in the room as they are to blame, and you hear this kind of cursory like blop in the background as another zombie drops from the body at the start of his turn. But these two rearrangements of the corpses on top of this creature, you start to see what it was doing as sharp bits of vertebra begin to launch from it, as it's going to use its bone shard ranged attack. Let's see here, it's going to make 2 ranged attacks. The first one's going to be at Bricktop, but I don't think a 13 will do it, which is
Nope.
unfortunate.
13 misses.
Let's see here, the second one will be at Digit. Oh, come on, a 4 and a 6. Oh well, it is what it is. You dodge, scrape, get out the way. These bone shards slam with force into the wood of the wall, just kind of burrowing and burying themselves deep in there. That will bring us to the end of his turn, which the zombies will move into play. Let's see. So Ogrush is going to get a slam with advantage once more, and then we're going to have another attack at Katara. So 17 will not be able to breach his armor. No, 22 will. So you're going to take a further 4 damage, Ogrush, as we have a slam at Katara. And 18, a further 5 to her as well. As these zombie attacks are adding up, we go back around to Katara's turn.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, one more thing, Katara. As just before you go, this creature is going to pull back around here as it's getting attacked by range. It's going to move out of sight over here, taking Ogrush with it. Attack opportunity from Makari if he wants it.
Might as well, yeah.
Oof.
Oh, fuck.
Highs and lows. So you're
Nice.
poisoned, so it's just wait. No, you're not
Yeah.
poisoned anymore. Wasn't it? When does it end? Hold on. The end of their next turn.
I was poisoned round 1, so.
So you just ended your turn. Did you make a I don't know if you'd make a fresh roll at the start of your turn while you're poisoned. I'm going to say no. So that'll be a crit. 18 damage. You catch it as it's moving off, searing further parts of corpse falling onto the ground. Katara, what you doing?
I am going to take an action to disengage and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Finn, leave your sister.
7, 8. Over to here.
Okay, you will take attacks of opportunity.
And,
oh, you disengage. Sorry.
Yeah. And that will be it.
Okay, Makari, con save from you, please, sir.
So,
Fortunately, poisoned for one more turn.
D4. I don't know if it helps.
Oh, a d4 will not save you. The DC is 15, I'm afraid.
Okay.
we're going to move to there. Because if I move any further, I'll get an opportunity. There we are. Huh. I'm just going to throw a fireball. 13?
13. I think that will just miss, I'm afraid. Yeah, 14 AC.
You're blessed.
Oh,
I am blessed.
go and roll on that. You can't miss then. Yeah, go and roll damage.
Okay. 2 fire.
Yeah, something. Adding up. Is that going to be it for you?
Yes.
Okay, Bricktop, you kind of look back to your side, just next to your head, there's this large chunk of spinal column that's probably like as long as your leg that's stuck into the wall there. What you doing?
Okay, Bricktop is going to move forward. And he's going to try to attack this zombie.
Okay, let's have it.
There we go. There's a good roll.
Nice.
And he is going to make that a defensive flourish as well.
Nice.
Let me get damage. 12 damage.
And is that including the extra bardic roll? It doesn't look like it.
No. There we go.
Okay, 14 total.
And my AC is 17 for the next round.
Very nice. Yeah, you pretty much open up the creature in one attack, just kind of wet, rotted organs. You almost bring it down to 1, but it's still going. Are you ending your turn there where you are?
Yes.
Over to you, Daggett.
Okay.
So you can't see the creature at the moment.
I move to there. And bonus action attack it with the spiritual weapon.
Not this time.
And he's gonna try to torn whip it.
Getting jostled by all the zombies and people crowding there. Unfortunately, both
Yeah.
miss.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Back to you, Agrush, still being pinned down by this creature.
By my mother's mustache, I will restrain you.
D4.
10.
Hey,
Yes!
there you go. Just what you needed.
Okay, we'll say you've pushed it up into the corner here for the moment. as we go around to the creature's turn, and I mean it really doesn't like that, so it's gonna forfeit its multi-attack to try and use its envelop on you once again, I think. So it's a slam attack with both advantage and disadvantage. But to no avail, with the 2 is not going to do it. It is going to spit out another zombie. And unfortunately just rolling way too low for that. That will bring us to our zombies. Okay, here we are. Attack, slam with advantage against a Grush, first of all. Then we're going to have, so further 7 damage to a Grush. We're going to have an attack against, let's see, Bricktop will get a retaliatory strike. 17 AC. Oof, will not help against a crit.
Oh, well.
5 points of bludgeoning. And then this one's going to, the last one is going to attack Makari from behind. It's going to be a regular.
I'll negate 13 points of his damage. On the, I'll negate the first hit, not the crit.
Oh, you intercepting?
Yeah, the first hit. That hit.
So Ogrush doesn't take any damage? Okay.
No, it would only be the first hit. I can't do it over 2 hits. So the crit will still go through, but the
crit
the
was at
7
Bricktop.
bludgeoning. Oh, okay.
The crit was me.
Yeah, so Ogrush will take no damage then.
Yeah.
Okay, Katara, bring us back to you.
Can't reach him.
Getting full of
Thank
undead
you.
in here.
All right. If I move down to here, can I see the mound of corpses?
It would get +2 to its AC, because you're shooting through a lot of people here.
But you
Okay,
do get
that's
advantage
fine.
because it's restrained.
Right. So I am going to take a shot at it with the bow.
Alright. That'll hit. Further 8 piercing. You hear more screams of pain kind of overlaced on each other as the kind of all the corpses together seem to be reacting simultaneously. At least the use of the vocal cords is. Anything else for your turn? Leave your sister. Hey.
That will be it.
I'm gonna slan you, boy. Okay. That'll bring us around to Goblin in the center. Poison until the end of your turn, unfortunately.
That one's really hurt enough for it to particularly matter. So let's just lance the big guy.
I will hit. Further 8. Starting to show real signs of damage here. Is that going to be your turn?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my turn.
Oh no, sorry. That won't hit. You are disadvantage attack, so that'll be an 8 to hit.
Oh wait, don't they negate each other because it's restrained?
Correct.
So he gets advantage.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That'll bring us to Bricktop. And, I mean, you look like you're in the aura here. Or is it just slightly off from touching the center? It looks like it's off. What you doing, Bricktop?
Yeah, I'm gonna swing at the one that's in front of me.
Yep, let's have it.
And we're back to low rolls.
I mean, it's a zombie. It's got an AC of 8, so that'll hit.
Oh, wow. Alright, so 9 damage on it.
Very nice. And you kind of just open up the throat, see the head begin to fall back, and Undead Fortitude will kick in, and the head topples down to the floor. The creature falls.
Okay.
Alright.
And then Bricktop is going to kind of move back and get some, get away from the action.
Fair. Okay, Daggett, this creature is getting more and more desperate. You can see it flailing around. What are you doing?
Same thing as last turn.
Okay, that will hit, in fact.
And try to turn up again.
sprouted meat flying everywhere. It is hanging on still. Are you ending your turn where you are?
Let's move to there.
Ogrish currently battling against the shambling corpse mound to keep it pinned up against the side of the wall. What you doing?
Sorry.
Yes.
With Thornwhip, it's would have been possible to pull it up to 10 feet. I don't know.
There are so many creatures there. Hold on. Does it say you can pull creatures larger than you?
I think one
Um,
size
Is
larger.
large or small?
yeah, large or small. Or yeah, large or smaller, yeah. Up to 10 feet. Closer
Could
to you, so I
probably
was
pull
here,
it
so
at
I...
least 5 feet, kind of smushing a Groosh up into Makari.
Yeah.
Pushing
And
that
then he'll
zombie out
move
the
to
way.
me.
Okay, well, yeah, Grish, what are you doing?
So I would have to either continue my athletics to maintain the grapple, or I could attack it. Are those my options?
That is a good question. I guess you are kind of trying to pin it down, but I think you can attack while restrained. I'm just going to double check that.
You know, you can attack while restrained,
While restraining.
but you have disadvantage. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would do a straight roll if I try to maintain restraining it,
There's
and it
no-
would then do a contest
According to the
against
rules,
my athletics roll.
According to the rules as written, there's no need to maintain the restrain. It can break out with an action, or unless something else happens. So
Okay.
technically, you would be able to make an attack.
Nice. And that would be a straight roll because I'm restraining it and it's restraining me. Is
That
that
will
right?
just hit. Okay, it is on the edge here, kind of flailing in pain. You got anything else for your turn?
No.
Okay, in desperation, it is going to. Goodness gracious, let's see here. I think it's just going to try. No, it's going to try and make one slam attack against Makari. But natural one is not going to do it. He's then going to bone shard against Teggett. 26 to hit you, I think is going to do it.
Yeah.
Is it restrained though?
Yeah. Bone shard is a ranged attack, eh?
Oh, got it. Yeah.
So it's going to be a total of 11 piercing, 8 necrotic, and it slams into you. You need to make a strength check for me, please.
Check or save?
It says a check. I feel like this should be a save, though. That's going to be a save. Give me a save. Is that different to what you rolled?
Oh, no, it's the same.
Okay. Yeah, so that's you're not going to make it, unfortunately. You get knocked prone and you are pinned to the ground as the shard gets embedded through your leg into the floor. You are currently restrained as well. And are you concentrating on anything? You're blessed. I'd like you to make a concentration check, please. You get 10 or higher. Yeah, you're fine. That will end its turn. It drops another zombie down. And these are going to start moving up here, and up here. So one is going to, as always, attack a Groosh with advantage. Not going to do it this time, though. as we're going to have an attack against Makari and then Dates. 17 will not hit you, right? No.
No,
That
just on the shield.
they're swarming, but none of them make their mark. That'll bring us around to the start of the turn with Katara.
Okay. Katara is going to move up to here. If I do, does that allow me to reach the creature?
Yes.
Okay. So then we will go in for a hit with our quarterstaff.
14 will do it.
Does
15 will do it, yeah?
okay. And then Cat's Claw
Okay, nice.
for another 7.
And how do you want to do this?
Katara finally sees what she thinks is a weakness or a soft point, even with all the arms flailing, and she will kick up her feet in doing a forward kick and spin around in a circle, and when she's coming down, the claws will just rip through that soft spot.
Nice. And keep in mind, this is an amalgamation of bodies. More than the creature you fight earlier, it's many torsos kind of flailing around. But as you kind of rise up, you see the creature falling into a defeated state, its vitality draining away. You can hear this as the kind of rose petal of corpses opens. You see a single one in the middle that kind of screaming out and flailing in anger, and as you come down, slamming onto that one, you see this entire kind of aiming your cat's claw at that. You slice at the what you imagine to be possibly, if there is like a main corpse, you're not sure how it works, but the creature pulls back, kind of jerking in agony, and you see kind of stale dried blood and bits of organs kind of getting thrown up as the creature is writhing in terror, kind of pain, like falling in on itself. And with the final shriek into the air, you hear it scream out. As it apologizes to maybe the lady of Cradle Lace Lake, it ceases to be. It's going to bring us out of initiative and into the silence of the aftermath of battle.
Well done, Cat. Excellent strike.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, you're pretty covered in lots of shit, Agrush, kind of getting helped out by your friend. Although still relatively healthy, considered you were being noshed on by a corpse mound. Looking around, it's almost as if a bit of birdsong can be heard through the window in the marsh. Not sure what you've accomplished by defeating this creature, but it will at the very least not be dragging creatures down into Cradle Lace Lake any longer. So we're going to be ending our session on this note today, and you guys will be leveling up, of course. And before we do, though, yes? You guys want to say anything?
I said sweet.
Okay, cool. Before you do, the bit of the Awakening song that you found, as you guys make it clear that the danger is gone and maybe do another sweep of the house, check out the basement, Proclaimer Ward and Lady Dre will kind of hesitantly move forward to kind of see for themselves the legend of Cradle Lace Lake. Would it be safe to assume your character would inquire of the parchment you found with the Proclaimer, Tungsten Ward?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
So he takes it from you, and he's kind of holding it as like a holy artifact. What is a piece of? He opens it up. I don't recognize this verse. This is a piece of the song that is not currently there. And you see his eyes kind of go wide. The paper slips from his hand, kind of falls, spiraling, to land on the ground at his feet. And as he begins to kind of chant what he reads, you hear this similar, the similar tune coming out of him, of this beautiful harmonic. And even though it's one person singing, it sounds like there's many voices overlaid. And what you hear when the tune reaches your ears sends shivers down your spines respectively, as you all kind of stand in awe for a moment as Proclaimer Ward sings of a piece of the Song of Awakening that was removed, of the covenant of gods coming together, Mulda, Sitos, Tomos, Zidia, Korai, realizing that the ribbon is dying, that the land is failing, and the only way to rejuvenate it is the blood of a god itself. And as the gods look to themselves, they move forward to strip the verse from the song, plunging the proclaimer that found it, the young child that lived here, into the ground with his family, to be trapped there for, hopefully, forevermore. As the gods turn to themselves, the song sings of them going their separate ways, breaking the covenant, looking to pull in the most followers they can, to not be the one that is required as the sacrifice in the end of it. As a kind of shocked silence as the verse ends, Tungsten Ward falls to his knees, and that is where we're going to be ending today properly.